Good morning, sliding into afternoon. Judy Allen here, San Antonio, Texas. I just had to make sure all the people doing the construction in the house, right, were quiet and took a lunch break before I went live. Otherwise, I was going to need to move it again. But anyway, today, right, this is the last project I'm doing for the month of March from our Filled with Sweetness set, right? And we also use the sweet here. And so today is a fun pop-up card. I'm using it from a one that I made. It's been a couple of years or more. I've been a demonstrator for 5 years, so it can't be more than 5 years ago. But anyway, I wanted to send the card out to someone that's like, well, I can't, right? It's one of my favorites. So I decided, well, just go make and design your last card the same way you did the other one before, and that way you can mail it out to someone, right? So that's the key I use to, if I want to sit there and I really want to mail out a card to someone, it's my last and only one. That's what it is. Go make the design, the layout again, so I can give it to someone else. So that's what we're going to do. And then once we get through that, if you want to hold on, a couple of people asked if I would do something with the pastels that we have in the catalog. And so I am. I'm going to actually record that separately, but it'll still be continuous from here. So I'm just going to pause and grab the stuff once we finished making the card here, and we'll forge on from there, all right? A lot of exciting things going on. So if you haven't subscribed to the newsletter, you might want to do that because there's a lot going on, like I said. Let's go down the hands and let's do this, and I'll show you what else we got going on. So this is the card. I don't know how long ago I made it, but this is what it looks like, okay? And I liked it. I finally decided who I was going to give it to. And so that made me design the card I did today. So you're going to have to wait to see what's on the inside. So the other thing that I put out there is to remind you to update your address because we have a new catalog coming out. We'll have 4 catalogs a year now. There won't be an annual catalog. And this is an online exclusive. And this will be posted in my newsletter. We'll make that out there. But you got to be in the newsletter. Look what's coming. Oh, yeah. It's coming out in May. There's other things coming out too, but that was a big surprise for me. And the catalog, we can't show you the inside until it's official, but I can mail you a catalog. So that's why I need your up-to-date address so I can send you a catalog. All right, so this is what we're doing. This is what we already made, and the rest of the cards I've made I've already given away. But I will tell you, everything that we're making today comes in an envelope, and I went ahead and put this in an envelope so you get an idea. So there's actually, I just packaged these up for some folks that took advantage of the Bonanza extravaganza that I had. See if I can say that. Anyway, so it's all packaged in here, right? I was trying to think how many projects. I want to say there's 4 projects. 3 cards in a 3D project, the recipe box. Or you can make it a treat box, right? All right, so here's what we're making today, and this is, get all my pieces there out of the way here. And we're also going to do a masking technique. I'll show you a masking technique that I do many a times. I was just trying to think. I do it for several things. I do it a lot of times when I'm doing the seniors and I'm doing something that I'm doing special. This is an 8.5 sheet of paper. Okay. So what we've done is I've scored 4 1/4 straight down the middle. All right. Then you come over here and I scored 4 1/4 here as well. All right. So this is 8.5 by 8.5. Let me write that down for you. 8.5 by 8.5. That helps. Okay, 8.5 by 8.5. And then we're going to write score at 4 1/4 on both sides. So 4 1/4 and 4 1/4. All right. Then, see if I can feel it. Then we have got stuff there and we're doing it diagonally, just on one side from corner to corner. All right. So let's fold in that line so you can see where that is. All right, almost looks like you're making something else, which I could make something else out of it, right? But I'm not. All right, so this is what it's going to look like. And you open it up. All right, this is what's going to be the pop-up mechanism, okay? And I don't care which way you do it, right? If you want to do it this way, because we do it that way, that's fine. This will be the pop-up, and these will be the flat part pieces there. So let me show you what I did here. Tied it because I could, right? Alright, so see how that is? Alright, so that's how we're going to want to do this to look. So you can see that this is here. So what we want to do, this is going to be here, and then these guys are going to be flat. Alright? So when you fold it over like that, let's see there. Trying to think how I did this to begin with. Alright, let me go back on this side. I've slept since when I did this. I made this, I got this because I was like, I was going to send this card in the mail, and I'm going, nope, you can't do that. Let me see what I did here. Yes. So these are actually, I'm not sure why I'm like so challenged here this morning. Alright, let me do this again. Most likely sleep deprived, right? And people doing construction. You know what? There are days you're thinking, why do I bother doing a Facebook Live? And that's a good question because it's of you. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't do Facebook Lives. I'm serious, I would not. All right, let me get that. Okay, there we go. It's like, seriously. All right, so I wish I'm pushing everything in at the same time as what I did. I didn't do that the other day, but anyway, it's a new day, right? It's a new day, new moment, new time. Alright, so you're just going to get this folded down, and truly it is easier if you'll take your bone folder and go ahead and go along those score lines. And if you don't have your bone folder, there it is. I think it should be there. And I'm just going to come down and just really get these really sort of flat because you can see how it wants to pop up a little, right? So you can do it any way you want. I've got mine. We're going to build the outside first, and we come back in. You can see how this is, and that's where we're going toward. See if I can put something there for you. There, so it won't bounce up. Still wants to bounce up because it's a lot of bulk, right? A lot of bulk here. You figure you got almost a full sheet of cardstock. So I'm just going to come. No, I'm not going to miss any more than I did because I'm not going to do that again. All right, there we go. Yeah. All right, so see how it's going to look. It's just going to fold in like this. All right, then we have two pieces here. So I'm going to put these together. And this is just going to fit just right. I'm making sure I got the right one. I did. Okay, so we're just going to glue this down right here, however you want to. This is just going to go in the center. So we're not going to worry about that yet. We're just going to get this one down. Both of them, actually. There are days, right? It's Wednesday, hump day. I'm getting ready to go out of town. That'd be the other thing. A lot of things going on. But main thing going on is, right, the whole remodel because of a water leak. And I did ask them to please take a lunch break so you wouldn't hear all the drilling, pounding, painting, everything else they're doing. Okay. Then we're going to put this down also. So this is really quick and easy, right? I just made it look really difficult getting, but it's not. All right, but you just want to make sure, right, your opening is going to be over here. Now, when I put mine down here, I actually just had it was just like this right here, okay? I think that does matter, in my opinion. Okay, so we're just going to put this on here. All right, and this here, I die cut and embossed. So here's the embossing I used for this. I used the Lazy Daisy too, just because I wanted to, right? We also had the bug one, Ladybugs with this. I could have easily done it with this as well too, but I chose to do it with this one here. And then I actually turn around and do this here. So when you're going to, just a tip, when you're going to emboss as well as die cut first and then emboss. If you do it the reverse, it's going to flatten some of this out, so it's better to do your die cutting first, then your embossing. All right, so we're going to put this on here, and we're going to put on dimensionals, but we're going to put our dimensionals, be sure to leave a gap so we can wrap our twine around it. Or no, it's not twine, ribbon is what we're using, actually. I was working with twine, but not at the moment. Let's see what I did with all my stuff. All right, we'll just use this then. Thought I had the larger ones there too. Right, we'll have several areas I create. So right, so if you think I just stay in this one spot here, no, I usually do my lives, do a couple of other things here. But actually my creating area, where I do a lot of my creating, is in my kitchen area. Because I got a large kitchen area. with a lot of counter space. So, I mean, let's think of if you were making a long dress and you're going to cut it out. You could do that on one of, we got a bar counter, right, that's long like that. That's what we usually do when my granddaughter decides to make a long dress or long skirt that trails down to the floor and beyond. Okay, so this is just going to go right here. And I am going to go ahead and put my ribbon through here right now because it does make it easier for me. I don't know about you if you go ahead and put the ribbon in now. Oh, that's too funny. So let me do that. If I wanted to do that, it would never, ever happen, right? Ever. Okay. So yeah. So let's go ahead and get this on here. And I just use, people always want to know, that is just nothing but painter's tape that I use. I use it for a lot of things. I used, and I wrote this down, I used right about 24 inches. So I'm going to put this down right here. And just give myself room right to wrap around and be able to tie a bow at the end. That's the main thing. And I have some wiggle room to work with it. Okay, so I'm just going to get that down right now. And right, because when I center this, I can still pull it back and forth and do whatever I need to do. Now I have, you know, you can, right? If you get in a bind, you do it wrong, you can always take it back up, right? Okay, that was not supposed to be happening. Alright, well this is live, so you're getting the live effect of without all the other pounding and everything when we do it all day long. Alright, so we're going to get this on here, and then we're going to do a little masking when we go and do the sentiment on here. Well, this can say one thing, you're going to get what I've been getting all day long. The only thing is, they don't have the thing that sounds like you're at the dentist drilling your teeth. Okay. So we're going to stamp thank you. So I'm doing two different colors, and I'll show you what it to begin with and how it looks like when it gets through. So I actually made a masking tape just like this, and the way that we're going to do that is I'm just going to take a small Post-it note. I'm trying to think. Yep. It's hard to think sometimes. Yes, okay. Alright, so what I did on this is, this stamp has on it, "You're the sweetest." And then this one here has, so it could be whatever one you want to do, right? I wanted to mix the words. This one says, "Love you very much." Well, I wanted thank you instead of love you, right? So the way that I did that is, okay. Could you please stop that? Thank you. Alright. It doesn't matter which color right here. I'm just going to come to the edge right here and like there. I'm just making a mask, right? That's all I'm doing. So we're going to really stamp this in Strawberry Slush, but doesn't matter. I'm just doing this here, okay? So, Gregory, would you get them stop that? Alright. Okay, and you're just going to come around here, and this is just how we're making our mask, right? Because what it allows you to do, it allows you to stamp the words you want. Now, I do this when, see how tight this is? Lots of times I can easily split up words. But this is much tighter, right? So you can see how much tighter this is. When it's much tighter like that, sometimes you have to do something a little bit different. So that's what I've done here. So what I want to do is I want to say, right, is that I want to make sure I get very much at the bottom. So I'm just going to do here, right here. And then I'm just going to do the very much underneath there. Okay.
He's using a spray gun.
I know. I told him I was going live. He said that wouldn't be a problem because I told him I didn't need the noise. So, but whatever. At least he shut the door. So,
Yeah, we got it shut.
thank you.
Sorry.
All right. There you go, right there. So we're just gonna do this here. All right. So you can see then by doing that, and I do this lots of times for my senior classes. When I want just certain words, and I'm doing it for them in advance. Is right. So I've got it right there, and I can take my Wink of Steel and bring that up just a little bit. But last time when I did, right, you see when I did my original one here, without any kind of buzzing or anything in the background, it just picks it all up right. So that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get close when you have stuff really close together there. And I can finish, like I said, you put Wink of Steel up, and that'll help fill in the gap as well, too, on that particular case. Now I'm going to do the words thank you on top, and I'm going to do it in Granny Apple Green. So that was the other thing, right? I wanted a different color as well, too. But I just wanted to be able to use thank you instead. And put thank you up here. All right. Okay. So then I'm just going to take the rest of it here, and we're just going to put this on here with dimensionals. And I can actually add my others to the end. And then we're just going to cut our cherries out. So our cherries will be cut out fuzzy cutting, because it doesn't come with a die for that. But, you know, they're big enough it's just not that hard to do them. This here. All right, put this on top. So see, because the fact is I did this under the yellow and did it in the middle, and I could have moved this up because I'm looking at the one I did originally. I did it underneath the white of this instead, and this time around I decided to do it on the bottom here. And by the same thing, right, you still would need to leave a gap. We left a gap because I'm going to put the embellishments right there. And we're just going to cut out our cherries, and then we'll work on the inside. So this one here, right, I got the tip of the cherry there, and it's okay. Sometimes people get upset and bent out of shape, but it's, you know, you work with it. Whatever you have to work with, you work with it. So that's what we're doing. So for me, because there's so much fruit and it's all together, then I just work on getting me a rough cut around, right? And then from here, I'll go and trim it up. Now, I wasn't going to go all the way to the inside on this one. I could have, but I didn't. I just pretend like I followed it around a curve. And I came up around here just like that, right? And we'll just keep on going. Okay, there we go. And we'll go here, do the same thing. All right, so just for example, I decided I want to go just a little bit more, right? I just want to get a little bit more. I don't have to do it all the way, but I just want to get a little bit more different shape. So then just go back, right? It's easier to take off a little bit and come back and retrim than it is take everything off and you made a mistake or you just changed your mind or don't like it. And then you have the opportunity to do something else or start over again, right? I always choose to do the opportunity for creativity because I really, if I've gone through the effort to make something, I really don't want to have to go back and do it all over again, right? Sewing, whatever, it doesn't matter. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on here with dimensionals, right? Get some height there to it. All right. I'm going to get this off. Get this on. And for me, let's see, I didn't put any Wink of Stella on that, but you can, right? This gives a little extra sparkle when you do that. Okay, we'll come back to that and finish the outside, but let's get the inside here then. All right, so we got a ribbon there, and we know we get this. So I am just going to put this on right here. And you could do it either way if you wanted to. We're just going to put it on right here. Just makes a fun surprise, right? You can do whatever you want. You know, the other thing you could do, this would be really cute, is make a gift card holder in here. Just make a little pocket if you wanted to. I didn't, because actually all my gift card stuff going out right now is for Easter. Yes, and I have pockets on all the things I need to for all the special peeps in my life. But this would be really easy to do, right? And if you had someone that does like canning, hand making stuff, any kind of type of crafting stuff like that, you could sit there and do that. Put it in there for them. All right, so what I did is I just took this. This is half of the die cut to make the images that we've done before on the cards. I'm just going to put it right here. And then I'm going to stamp it. Now I will tell you, because I did accidentally went to do it one time, and that is, look at the angles at the bottom, not the rounded top. That's what's going to go at the bottom. All right, and then I'm going to stamp "You're the Sweetest," and then we're just going to put the other colors in there, right? All right, so I did this one in Granny Apple Green. Right, this has just got a lot of fun colors to it. You can do a lot of different things with this. If you don't remember last week, go check it out, because that's the one where we sat there and did I showed you earlier, where we actually did the recipe box. If you wanted it to be that, it could be anything you want it to be. All right, so the next what I did here is underneath it, I'm just doing this little swirly, and this comes in the stamp set also, right? Just gives a little extra touch. It reminds me of what you see on your jars, right? Any of your jars that you have food in it. And then I'm just going to take and we're going to put a little heart beneath it, and this is ready to go. Now I actually do have the blueberry left over that I could put on here if I wanted to, right? And then here I'm just going to set it right here. There you go. And that's easy and done, right? So why don't we add, I'll set this out, I'll have to clean that. We're going to go ahead and close this up and finish it off. So if you wanted to add Wink Costello, you could. Wink Costello is our friend, right? Let's just touch it up on the heart here. Okay. And just make sure I didn't have any red on there, right? When you use it on a different color like that, just make sure you don't have any on it. And then I'm making sure I've got some coming through here, right? This one's on the low side. So I'm just making sure I have some Wink Costello coming through. Yeah, there you go. I'm just going to lightly touch it here, right? The same thing here. I'll just lightly touch it. So you can lightly touch anything you want. It's going to pick up a little bit of color. So if you need to pick up the color, then that's what you want it to do. All right, and then you can color whatever else you want. Just like that. So we just need to put our bling in here and tie a bow, and we're done. That's how easy it is to make. It's not hard to make at all. It takes more time, right, to sit there and think about folding it up than it did anything else. So I actually just used 3 of these. Oops. There we go. All right, let's tie our bow. Now we can get it finished and get ready to show you some things you can do with those pastels, soft pastels. All right, so all I do is just pull it together, right? Yeah, I wanted to tie a bow over here. Now, so this time around, when I did the other one, the bow was just on the outside. The yellow, this one's going to be on the outside of this here. So I do it just like a square knot. I do my left over right. I turn it sideways like this. And then I'm going to take, I've got to do my right up, and then I'm going to take this here, and I'm going to come under it like this right here. Right, there's different ways you can make bows, right? So it's just, so my friend once told me, my friend Kathy once told me, she goes, there's never a bad or wrong bow. I know it's all a matter of opinion, right? But I like to get my bows a certain way. So this one you can make it as long or as short as you want, right? So I want to get it at least up there a little bit. Get it rounded a little bit there too, right? So if you want it short or anything, this is a great time to tweak it. But I'm just going to go ahead and make it where I have it ending right here. The edge of my card there. And the same thing here. Where I want to make sure they look about the same distance, right? Main thing is this will stick in the envelope no matter what. Because when finished, this is like 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So that's how easy it is to make it here. And just so you can see the difference, right? So here is where, I just pulled that down. This is where I sat there and had it here on the outside. And here's where I had it here. So you decide what you like the best, right? Whether you like it under the yellow, or if you like it preferably on top. So there you go. That is the last of the one that we have through March 31st. I'm going to put that aside because that you can get those with a free class to go through March 31st. So while I've gone ahead and sent some out to the people that took advantage of the bonanza, I got theirs out in the mail. And so if you just anybody else going out in the mail, it'll be after March 31st. It'll be April 1st because you have until March 31st to take advantage of the free class to go kit with a purchase of $35 from my store. So let's get ready and let's see about doing this chalk. It's not chalk. They just call it soft pastel. So let's go down the hands, and I'm going to record this, right? So just a moment, bear with me just a minute as I start recording. So this is Judy Allen with Adventurous Stamping, right? And we're going to be doing the soft pastels, and I'm going to show you just some different tricks and some of the things that you can do with it, all right? So let's go down the hands, and I'm going to show you what we can do with those soft pastels. All right. So actually, to have handy, I'll show you, I actually have the soft pastels, and they come in a container just like this here. All right, and I'm just going to leave them out just like this here. And I'm going to show you 3 different things, all right, that we can do with it. Here's something I created already just to give you an idea, and I'm going to show you the difference. These were both done 2 different ways, and as you can see, you get 2 different results. And I think that's the one thing you need to think about this is that so it's different, right? It's another tool, it's another way to color, but it's different. And if you think about it, a lot of the watercolor paper you see with Stampin' Up, right? This is sort of what it reminds you of is doing the watercolor like this here. So the first technique I'm going to do with this is, well, let's see here. I guess I didn't. I'll flip it over then. This one, I set it there, and what I did is I took it. You can use any color you want. Let me use a different color for you. So think about some of the things artists do. Now, if you looked at the paper with the Aurora Borealis look, right? You've got these little angles they made and so forth and so on. So if you take something like this, like a chalk, this is a water painter. And actually, normally I would use 91% alcohol in here so it dries quicker, but since we have people here doing things, I just let it be. So what I'm going to do is this is the fluid paper, right? And this is, I put the chalk directly on the paper, dry. So when I come across this with a painter, you can see that you can sit there and do what you want to do with it, right? Now that's with me going directly to the paper, dry, all right? Just give you an idea of what it'll do. And some of the colors is no different than the colors that stain our stamps or anything else. The same thing, some of these colors will die and won't come out, right? So this is just doing dry, and so you can see what kind of technique you can get right there, okay? That is just taking and using your chalk straight on here. And there's so many things you can do with this, right? I brought another sheet here in a minute to show you something else that we can do. I'm going to take the flip side of this here because I thought I brought extra stuff, and I did, but I didn't. How's that? I don't see my flat sheets. It's okay. This is a spritzer. We're going to do the same thing. This is the same thing. This is a fluid 100%. This is, fluid 100 paper. Well, that's one reason to clean the desk off, right? Now, I might have got this one just a little bit wetter than the one earlier. All right. So the thing with this is when you spritz, and you're going to use the soft pens, the soft pastels, it's like chalk. I'm not sure why they call them soft pastels, but there's most probably a reason. All right, so I'm just going to come and I'm just going to color. Because I can use this, right now it's Easter time. You can do whatever you want, right? It's your project, and you do whatever you want. Okay, so and you see that the pastel is still a little wet. But here's what's different. You get a lot more motion, right? Well, like, that would have been nice. See how we can sit there with the paper wet? Now granted, you can't do this on regular paper, right? Because the paper is going to have little balls of balling up on you there. But this is the fluid paper, so you can see with the fluid paper, you can pretty much do what you want to do. Now when I did the other colors, the other two colors, I definitely got a much darker color than when I just did it with the water from the painter versus actually spritzing. So you're going to definitely get a much more watery look when you spritz. And you might want to wet the paper down another way, and that's fine too, right? Okay. The other thing is, right, I can just as easily, pretend like this is just a regular paintbrush, right? Okay, I can just as easily, let's take this color here. All right, so I can easily just take it. That's another thing that you can do with these, and we're going to do something else with in a minute. And then, because it's wet, I'm going to do the same thing, right? So it's just easy to small or how wide you want to go with it. So it reminds me of doing like with the watercolors, except that we could get to do a drilling technique, right? I'm just showing you. I'm not trying to necessarily create anything in particular. I just want to show you, since you guys want to know what are some different things you can do with it, right? So it depends on what paper you're going to use. See, there's still color. So if you still wanted to come and fade it out, you can. Because like the ones I originally created, I thought of two things, either a beach project or Easter, because I still got Easter things I can always do. And you just let it dry and you go from there, right? But it definitely, when everything's wet, I can definitely mix colors on the edges. You can see where I mixed this, where the blue was still there, and I did with the green. You can see I'm going to get it with the red and green, and just a little bit more. I'm just going to get a little bit murkier looking color there. All right? So this was spritzed. This was not. This was dry. I used the chalk on it, and I just put water across it with a water painter, and this is what you get differently, right? Okay, so let me show you something else. I'll put this aside. Now this one I am going to spritz. This is a 2x5, because this would be very easy to just go and create, and this just be your focal piece of art. Now I am going to definitely be prepared to make a mess, right? So I'm just going to spritz this one, because what I want to do is it's going to work easier. I'm going to show you another technique after this here too. So just like I was just showing you then, we can actually take this okay, did better a while ago. That's okay. Let's go to the next color. I like bright colors. I'm going to spritz that one as nice as I thought I did. And it just depends on what you want. And again, like I said, go look at the paper, right, and see some of the different things that they've actually created. And it just looks like they took a brush, right? Well, I'm just taking the blocks here. And here we can mess with it from there that we want to. And I'm actually going to do another this reddish color here. And I just eyeballed it, right? If you want things to be evenly spaced. Let's see if I can stick in the water there a second. Thank you. If you want it evenly spaced, then I would just mark it with the pencil and erase it later, right? Okay. I would normally do that, but I would say my patience level today is most probably little with all that noise in the background. Okay, now this isn't as smooth as I wanted, but that's okay, right? We can just take it, and I can just take it right here. I was just trying to come across, right? Because if you look at some of the stuff to create, whether it's a line, a bar across, or whatever, you can do it, and it's going to give it different looks, right? And the ones that didn't come, make sure I get my color off. Then the ones that didn't come out the way you wanted to, just go add a little bit more color, right? So you just want to make sure your brush is clean. This is painter, right? But I'm using it like a brush at the moment because it's wide the way I want to do it. And again, this is the fluid paper as well. And what I like is, right, it's very forgiving. So even when we've done the baby wipe technique before, we've actually even have stamped a design and then turn around and spritzed it, and you get a nice another effect as well too. So you can do that with any stamp, any design stamp, right? Okay, so if I want these darker, they're all still wet, I can still come here and add some more color, right? Even if it wasn't dry, right, I could still add more color if I wanted to. I just wanted to make it look like a streak coming down here. Use this purple again right here. The yellow I'm fine with. One of these guys just a little bit darker. I can dilute them with water, right? Yeah, so I am. I'm just going to take it. Right, it's a whole artsy thing. And it just depends how artsy you want things to go. I'm going to my granddaughter's art festival they have because she's in the gifted program, so she has some artwork up. So I'll see if she what she thinks about what I've done. How about that? She's 9, so I know she's. It'll be interesting to see what she says. Not for sure. Her brother will have his 2 cents worth to add, so that's cute. All right. So if you want it darker, right? So when you get through, right, you can add this with some other stuff. Some other colors and cardstock and add it and make it into a card. It'll have to dry. I didn't bring anything up here to dry it. I just want to show you what you can do. Right? It's whatever your imagination is that you want to do, right? That's the thing. Have fun with it. It's just a different tool and technique, okay? And let that dry because actually I'll use that to create something totally else for a card. Let me show you another technique you can do. Now, this one is, I sat there and I did emboss this with the Lazy Daisy that I showed you. Now, what we're going to do with this here, as this is drying, let's put that way over here. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take a little bit of this here. I'm going to take a pair of scissors that I already had. Here we go. And I'm just going to scrape some of this off. And again, depending on what you do, you're going to get 2 different looks. All right. Just gonna scrape some off. It does act like chalk. I guess it's not chalk. So now what I did with this one is I actually took one of my paint brushes. All right, so you can do it one of 2 ways. And I really didn't see a big difference. I first dipped it in water, dipped the powder, and I went from here. And I felt like it was darker doing it this way. Then if I did it another way, I'm going to show you. But this way you can do it, right? And we can just as easily come and paint the inside the flowers. So really and truly, I'm not trying to like create a card or anything today. I'm just showing you how you can use it because people are asking me if I would show how to do that. And that's all I was really wanting to do today is just show you. So this, I can apply color just like this here and paint it, do it as dark as I want with it, right? Okay, and then from there, I would most likely do yellow on the inside to make the inside here. Okay, so let's get that off of there. All right, the other way to do this is I just came and I made sure the flower was all wet. All right, so individual flower, I didn't go do the whole spritz, the whole thing. I could have, but I didn't, because I wanted to show you what's different. Okay, now I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna get my color. But the paper's already wet, right? So as you can see, when I go, it's diluted. more diluted than the other was because the water is already here. And see how much softer that is? Now this is just the opposite than the other. A while ago when when it was dry and I did this, it sat up there and it was very light. Whereas when I spritzed the water on, it came across as dark. This is just the opposite. My paintbrush is dry. I dipped it in water, got the paint, and painted this one. You can see the difference, how dark it is versus this one. I saturated this with water first, and then I applied the powder. So you can just see the differences in colors. Now I can dilute this, right? It's not to say you can't dilute it, but I just want to show you, because it's all about what are you going to get, right? Different techniques. What are you going to get out of the technique that you're using? So this I can keep on diluting down, but you can see, though, where it definitely came across darker in the very beginning. Okay? So we want to add some yellow in the center there. I just have to make sure this is clear. All right, going to add just a little yellow. And then we're going to call it quits. Because this really wasn't originally on my agenda for today, but some folks asked, and so I told them I'd make this and do it. And then here, now this one here, I do definitely want it brighter, so I'm just going to come right in the center, right? Now, if you wanted more watercolor, right, you just come and dab your brush in yellow or water and come and just put it over it, and it'll get your whole watercolor effect, right? So let me show you what I mean. Let me clean my brush. Make sure I don't have anything else on it. Okay. So I'm just going to take water, right? As you do this and you take water, you're just diluting it, right? It's just going to spread around. Just by adding water. So you're going to get the same watercolor effect, right? As you would in any of the designer series paper. Because as it goes down, it's going to sit there and have the color go down. And when it dries, you're going to see that that yellow is really going to just sort of blend in with the blue down there. Sort of like if you go outside with flowers, right? Some of them look like the colors just blend into the next color. That's what you're going to get here by adding water and just letting it dry. All right? So I hope that clears up some of the questions and everything that you had. Clearly, there's many more things you can do with this, right? This is just sort of like a down and dirty version of sort of showing you what you can do, whether it's dry on the fluid paper or if you sit there and actually spritz the paper first, right? It makes a difference. Same thing when you emboss something, right? We get a different look. We take off a little bit of that chalk crumble there and put it on with a brush dipped in water versus if we wet down the image first and then turn around and put it on. Different effects, right? So that's what it's all about. It's about just having different opportunities to create the way you want to based on the results you want. So I hope you enjoyed that. So with that, I want to thank you for supporting us not only here, but on Facebook and Instagram. And with that, I look forward to seeing you next week, where we'll create a whole new suite. Don't even know what it's going to be yet. I have to think about it. All right? So thank you for supporting us, and look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.